Okay, lock it in. Let's get it. Nested for loops. Oh, yeah, like the same shit before. For each of these, run a for loop for each of those. For every grenade that I throw, it's one of those little Petrushka grenades, the Russian ones that are little dolls. Each one of them has 5 little explosions. So I throw one, and then it has 5 explosions. I throw another, and it has 5 explosions. So I throw 5 for my 5 grenades. Do the 5 explosions apiece. So we can't mix types of defined variables, it looks like, in a for loop. Okay. Oh. See, can't mix. Could do characters. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, we just can't mix them. All bools, all chars, all ints, something like that. So for each letter, do something. Oh, so A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So we could do like, yeah. So from A to E, print the letter. And for each one, give it 0, 1, and 2. Or 0, 1, 2. Let's print 0, 1, 2, and then the next letter 0, 1, 2. Yeah, makes sense. Yep, saying true. Cool. So we print A. And we do this guy. Okay, we print 0. Oh, we print 1. Oh, we print 2. Okay, done. Next. B. There's a new line after for each letter. So it's the letter 0, 1, 2 in line. Or new line rather. But either well, inline, I'm saying inline. Yep, we then increment our loop variable to B. Still true, blah blah blah. Yep. Okay. Makes sense. So we could do nested loop. We could do okay. Let's do a little Petrushka doll thing. Okay. So I'm throwing, let's see, dolls thrown, 2. For and current doll. We're going to start this to be 1 because can't have any less than that. So let's say there are only 2, so we have 1. Yep. While current doll is less than dolls thrown. Current doll. Doll. Current doll thrown. Cool. And then in here, we'll say the explosions. So we could say there's dolls thrown. And then we have another int. Explosions per doll. No, bro. 5. Haven't used them yet. Actually, we don't need this. Do we create it each time? I guess I'd rather create it here. Because it's for each of these dolls. Instead of having a for loop and then creating this there. We'll see. For int this doll or current doll explosion. This is the first one. We started the first one. While current doll explosion is less than explosions per doll. Current doll explosion. Doll current doll we'll say explosion. There should be a space here. Or we could say this needs a space in the beginning. So this is explosion. Current doll explosion. From doll. Current doll. So we'll say doll 1 thrown. Explosion 1 from the yeah, okay. So we'll do end line here. Yep, so we've thrown, let's see, 1, oh, so we want to throw from 1 up through however many, so we say we've thrown doll 1, explosion 1 from doll 1, 2, 3, and 4 from doll 1. Oh, hold on, this also needs to be less than and equal. This is a off by 1 error, I'm a retard. Excuse me. So we could say less if it was 0, but it makes sense that this is the first, we start at the first explosion. Yep, so there's through the first doll, 5 explosions from the first doll. excuse me, through the second doll, 5 explosions from the second doll. Nested for loop. Cool. Variables used only inside a loop should be defined inside the loop. Let's make sure. Yeah, I guess we may as well just give these parameters inside here too, huh? So we have, so there's the current doll, dolls thrown 5, through all the dolls. Oh, hold it. Accidentally undid the off by 1 error. 5 explosions from each doll. Cool. Only used in loop should be inside the loop. Makes sense. Yeah, because we would have a function and we just call it throw Matryoshka doll. Boom. We don't need to know about the explosions anywhere else. We don't touch them anywhere else. It's only within the doll. Oh, but the problem is then we have this variable that's created, and then we have a loop that uses it a whole bunch, but then that variable just stays existing, and we may never call that again. Let's say we throw a doll, let's say it's Black Ops Zombies. We throw that doll once. Okay? And let's say we don't have a function doing this, we are doing this within, or well, we're just doing this within main. And we create the doll's thrown, and then we do the looping, and then we call the function that does the throwing, and then boom, that's a void function. It just happens in the game. We don't give a fuck about any return values or anything. Cool. It does the damage to the zombies or whatever. Okay. Well, now we still have dolls thrown created. We should put that in the function itself. Or maybe pass it to the function itself instead of creating it and then just letting it live, and then there's just variable bloat. It's better to create it one, or well, new programmers think that it's better to create it once and assign values to it than create it many times. Yep. Creating a variable has no cost. We're basically saying, use this room over here, but there's no actual burden on the hotel until someone officially lives in that room. Makes sense, yeah. Instead of just knowing that it exists within the loop alone. Yeah. Well, yeah, because maybe there are a bunch of different use cases instead of seeing only here. Like if we had if we had a constant and then we used it in a whole bunch of places, I guess it's probably pretty obvious that it's a constant, it's never changing. Just substitute the variable with the value, and everywhere that it's ever used with the value. Cool. But if it's used in different spots and it's not constant, maybe it's not as obvious. Oh yeah, because even if it's not constant, I think sometimes the compiler can figure out whether a variable changes or not, and then just replace it with whatever the value is. So we don't have to have memory be used the entire time. Wow, I had no idea pepper was so heavy. I had a piece of pepper stuck in my teeth, and I used a toothpick to get it out, and I heard it hit the countertop like a thump. Makes sense. Yeah, find them in the smallest scope possible. This goes for loops too. Use it only within the loop. Leave it there, buddy. Just like instead of creating a variable globally and then doing changes in a function and then using it, how about just create a variable locally within the function and return that value wherever it's needed? That way, basically, it's on need to know basis. You don't have a bunch of people walking around with clearances they don't need, info they don't need. Okay. All the necessary info is right there. You don't have to look elsewhere. If things are defined properly where they're supposed to be. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, if there's some condition we're checking, we do a while compared to the counter because that end statement is built in. There's an obvious loop variable, meaning one that we're manipulating, compared to while. Okay. Right, a for loop that prints every even number from 0 to 20. Okay. Okay, we need to print some shit. Excuse me. Okay. Every even number from 0 to 20. So we'll have 4 and start number 0, end number 20, while start number is less than or equal to, because we're doing through 20, is less than or equal to end number, start number. And then we can say if start number remainder 2 is 0. Will this work? Because the 4, I figure it's doing one statement. But this is a I wonder. Thoughts? From 0 to 20, while our current number is less than or equal to the end number. Do this. 0, 0 remainder 2 is 0. Okay, we'll print it. 1, 1 remainder 2, not 0. Hold on. Let's see. Because if we say 1 remainder 2, it means we're dividing it in, and then we're saying how much is left over, how much doesn't fit. 1. So we could say, if it was 3 remainder 2, 1 fits. Okay. So we can divide it by 2 some number of times, and then there's still some left over. Okay, cool. Is that good enough? And then what if we did... Oh, right here. Yeah, so this tells us the answer. The IDE actually has it built in. Do if start number cool, and then we can enter, and it brings us out of the scope because the for loop has one statement that it's cool with. So like if I just did this, I'm just gonna remove this real quick, and then we'll just do Yo. Oh, 2. I'll do 2. It prints 2 at the very end because this guy is not. So for loops are the same in that they have one implicitly single blocked statement that follows them, just like an if statement. Cool. Do we want anything else? Do we want that? Does that work? No, it has to be the same type. And then if we did const expression here, not happy because double a constant, brother. Okay. It's fine. We create him here. We're not changing him. It's whatever. Bop. Okay. 0 to 20 works for me. Is there a better way? For simply going through the numbers, and for each number, is it divisible by 2? If it is, print him. Okay, 3 lines. What? Oh, I guess we could do that too. We could just increment by 2 and print all those numbers. I'd rather it be like given a big sequence of numbers and then I check. Okay, alright, well, I guess I didn't think about I've never seen it actually be used. Not that I've seen all that much code, but oops. Okay. Yeah, because we start them at 0 and then we just increase them by 2. Bro, hello? Oh, oops. I guess you can also do that. Yeah, there's half as many loops, so. Okay. Okay, write a function named sum2. It takes an integer parameter and returns the sum of all numbers from 1 to it. Okay. And we'll start with 5, sure. Oops. Okay. Now I need the implementation file. Looking good. This needs to be a for declaration. Okay. All the numbers from 1 to the value. It's like a sum factorial type thing. Okay, the sum version of a factorial. Factorial is to multiplication, as what we're doing is to addition. So we'll do 4. Let's see. So we want to go from 1 to whatever it is, and it's including itself, right? To it. So we're doing 5, we're including it. Okay. Well, we could just say from 0 up until it. So, okay. So 4. Int sum. While sum is less than or equal to sum to target. And then we'll just increment sum. Because we're going to do 0 and then 1 and then 2. Whatever, and we'll start with that. It's fine. We could just start it at 1. Or if we're going to do it in this way, then we're going to do 5. So we'll add 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. So we could say while sum is greater than 0. And then we can decrement sum. Oh, and we could just say sum to target. While sum to target is greater than 0. And we will add to itself minus 1. So add to itself minus 1. Oops, this needs to be oh, what did I do? Oh no. Okay. That was not it somehow. So we pass in 5. While 5 is greater than 0. We'll do something. Oh. Oh, I fucked up. Yeah, that was not how to make the it's basically it's not it feels like it's probably infinite. Okay. Yeah, this is bad. So we'll pass in the number and then we'll just get we want the total and it and then just subtract it. Yeah, I guess we could. So we could say all that and then we'll just say int Total. While sum to target is greater than 0, we'll decrement sum to target, and we're going to say total is, and we'll start total as sum to target. What the fuck? So total is 5. Our sum to target is 5. So this guy is 5. 5 is greater than 0. So we're going to say 5 is assigned. All right, so 5 is 5 plus 5 minus 1. 5 plus 4 is 9. Then we output 9. And then now 4. Wait, what the fuck happened here? Nine was correct, but then hold on. Because then I'm adding plus 8 and then plus 7. Yeah, that's not it. And then the sum, yeah, this is just wrong. And it would keep on going, but sum to target's just small. Five plus 4 is 9. Plus 3 is 12. Plus 2 is 14. Plus 1 is 15. Phone is updating for the 4 millionth time. You make this needs to be better. Oh. think decrementing is just a better way of doing it. Excuse me. We start at 1, or we could just go, I'll just say less than sum to target. Alright, bro, what am I doing? We need a counter and a total. We continue while the counter is less than the target. So we get each number up until it. And up through it, but same result. I could start this as 1 and go up through it. Or I could start it, I mean, I don't want it to be a magic number. And then we'll increment counter. Then we'll also have sum, which is initialized as sum to target. Can't think very well right now. It's annoying. I don't like that that worked. Feels like my brain is fogged over. Like it's just stuck in limbo. So we're saying that there's a counter that's 0, and we're saying that we have a sum. And the sum is our sum2 value minus our counter. So at first, our counter is 0, so our sum2 value is 5. 5 minus 0, sum is 5. So we'll say, alright, we have 5. Now we need to add 4 to it, 1 less than the sum2 value. So now, our counter is 1. Excuse me, and our sum is going to be sum is going to be, hold on. Oh yeah, I forget that plus equals is itself plus this. So sum is now sum plus sum to value minus 1. So it's basically a number being added to itself minus 1. And now it's 9. And now 9, or now sum gets 9 plus 4 minus 1. And then 12 gets 4 minus 2. 14 gets 2 minus 1. Okay. That was annoying. What else? Is there another way of doing this without a counter and a sum? So I wanted to just have a sum and then use the value that we already have and just subtract from it each time. We decrement. Okay, so we could do this one way. Couldn't we also decrement sum2 value? And then just go until sum2 value is, while it's greater than 0. So we don't do it once it's 0. And then get rid of counter. And then just say sum is so there's the sum2 value minus 1. So if we said the sum is if we say plus equals sum2 value, at first sum is 5. And then we decrement it to be 4. And now it is 5 plus 4. Now wait, isn't that the easiest way, bro? We don't need a fucking counter. We just say, we're just porting the sum. Because if we only use this number, then there wouldn't be, we would have to have some way of counting how many times we're going to do it. And if we're adding to itself, we can't use it while it's greater than 0 because we're continually adding to it. So it's always going to be greater than 0. But if we instead take the number we're counting to, we have some sum and we started at 0, and we first set it to be this guy, or well, here we go. Every iteration we subtract by 1, and every round we just set him to be equal to himself plus this guy. So at first it's 0 plus this guy. Alright, now he's this guy. Now we decrement him. Now it's this plus this guy. Now we decrement him. This plus this guy. Decrement him. Boom. 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 It keeps adding this to this to this to this to this. 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. Boom. I think that's probably the best way. Hint, use a non-loop variable. A non-loop variable? Meaning a variable that's not in the loop to accumulate the sum? Oh, and returns the sum. Returns the sum of all the numbers from 1 to value. Okay. And then we could just say, so instead it's an int. And then return. Oh yeah, true, because we can't. Or we could say. Yeah, I guess we have one in the function. So we could just say int sum. Hold the fuck on. What's wrong here? What's wrong? Oh, duh. Isn't it just a fucking... Oh, yeah, true, we haven't even tried to return yet. Okay, and then we just return some. Wait. Oh, that was the problem, because is, and then this guy was printing 5, 9, 12, 14, 15, and that first part was being reported too early. Now we're good. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, well, yeah, and the only reason here is because we have to return this value, which means we need to access them from outside. Unless we're checking to see once it's 0. And we could, we don't necessarily have to do that. We could just put them inside here and then say if, and we could go to 0 and then just say, I don't really care. We could say equals 0 if sum to value is 0. Oops. Return sum. Bop. Bop. Motherfucker. What are you yapping about? Oh wait, sum doesn't exist yet. Int sum. Int. Int. What are you fucking bitching about? Int. Turning an int. It's that. Else do nothing. Oh wait, yeah, I forgot you need an else statement. What? Oh, because what if it doesn't in the beginning? The loop doesn't trigger? So annoying. Alright, fine. Okay, so we can't just do the return within the loop because we can't guarantee that the loop is going to activate, which means we can't guarantee that the function is going to return anything. So we have to include the return on the outside of the function. We could do it on the inside too. Or just do this. But honestly, this is easier because then I can 100% tell what's in this, what's not. We have some. Counting up to that shit. Boom. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, so you can do that, or you can count down. Yeah, that's how I ended up doing it before, but then we decremented. What's wrong with this loop? Oh, bro. Over greater or equal to 0? Decrement? It's probably because it's unsigned. Alright, let's see. So we're at 9. Eventually we get down to 1. We decrement them, and we get down to 0. Okay. And we're including, so it's not going to stop once it's 0. We're including 0. But then we decrement him again, and he goes all the way up to fucking like 4 billion or 8.6 billion or something like that, and then outputs that. So it's gonna be. Let's test her out. Pop, there it is. Big, big, big numbers. And we could just do this, but because you put equals, it means you do 0, which means it gets decremented again, which means you go all the way up at the top, and then you continue going forever. Ad infinitum. And it's a lot of numbers. Wowzer. Oh. Yes. Yes. Yep. The visibility. Starting at 1 and counting upwards. Place numbers divisible by only 3 by Fizz. Only 5 by Buzz. Oh. Meaning we're only talking about 3 and 5. We're not talking about others. If it's only divisible by 5, bro. 10 is neither, bro. 10 is only Buzz. Only divisible by 5, it's also divisible by 10. Okay, but we're saying numbers divisible by 3 and 5. Ones that are divisible by both is FizzBuzz, 1 by 3, 1 by 5. Okay. Implement this game inside a function named FizzBuzz that takes a parameter, use a for loop, single, if, else, chain. Okay. Okay, so do this. Okay, taking a break, taking a brain break real quick.